Yeah, I was crying in the car. I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, all three of them together. And I just thought it was so special because I grew up watching Blues because it came out when I was 6 years old. So I grew up watching it and it felt very special and touching. And I was wondering, how does it feel to have such a long running show? And how do you keep it fresh for everybody?
2 questions. I know. It feels amazing. I mean, it just feels very grounding and it just feels wonderful, gives us just warm feelings knowing that we've impacted so many kids' lives in a positive way and making the world a better place in that way of seeping into kids' childhoods and filling them up with good feelings.
And I think the Steve video meant so much to kids, but the idea that it did, right? It's just like thinking about the little show that we tried to do. And then you watch this and watch the response and you're just like, I think we did it.
Yeah, we did.
And we have so much fun doing it and we love it so much that and we knew that we were impacting kids. We do so much research, but like you don't know it until you really, really hear it and see it. So yeah, it feels really, I don't want to say surreal anymore because that doesn't mean anything anymore. That's exactly what it feels like. And we keep it fresh because we have amazing, amazing people that work with us every single day. Writers who grew up on the show and are a Rolodex for everything that we've ever done, who know it right away because they were fans and talented
and artists
people.
And animators and musicians and
everybody.
Yep, working together to just keep that love of Blues Clues alive, that essence of Blues Clues, and keeping it fresh.
And our series musician, PT, is the one who did the 25th anniversary music video song. And so you can see all the touches and the love because he gets it, so it's beautiful.
Felt the love as soon as I saw the kids. Like,
I know. The line that always gets me in it is babies were born. And like Angela and I both had our firstborns who are now 20, grow up together with the show. So that's the line that always like,
literally 2 weeks apart.
So I wanted to know if we could quickly go back in time to 1996 when you were tasked with making this show. I heard you were on a shoestring budget. So I'm wondering, how did this come about? It's, 25 years later.
Yeah, I literally was talking to my husband, who was the biggest supporter, but when he first read the script, I was like, look, and he's like, oh, it's really cute. I'm like, no, it's gonna change the world. Like, can you please look at what I've written? It's gonna change the world. But I think that, again, coming together when you just, that's what we have, right? We were just kind of the underdog.
We had no kids. We were excited to do children's television and we wanted to do something different that was not like anything else out there.
We leaned into each of our expertise, which I think was also really, really impactful in terms of what we bring, and that level of the way we could work together was just, I think we always say the stars were aligned because I think it was true in terms of that level of collaboration and the way that we work. But we took the script and Traci, like literally, we took the script. Traci made all of the manipulatives that we brought into schools, and we just sat there with, I think it was one of your best friends that was the classroom teacher. And we went in there and we just, every step of the way, we wanted to hear what kids thought. So we weren't surprised really, because we loved what we were doing and wanted to keep doing it, but it enabled us to really get it right before we even delivered the pilot to Nickelodeon, so it was one of those things where we lived and breathe. I mean, we still live and breathe it, but like, when you're first making something, right, you're just like,
yeah, and we were excited to expose kids to, again, something different that they've never experienced before, of the listening and talking back, asking questions. And then in the music, exposing kids not to that sappy saccharine music, but real jazz musicians, and the visuals of, not complicating, just blah, throwing up on the screen, but having very simple graphic elements that they really connected to.
Right. And taking kids really, really seriously as opposed to entertaining them only, right? It's really about listening and taking them on this journey, and they're the smartest person in the room. Yeah. They're a character. They're an important part of our show. And so everything we did, like, we could take you through that first episode and beyond, but like every minute there's a reason that we did what we did, because then that's what we were focused on,
building the self-esteem of preschoolers.
And then once we became moms, it became even more of like, this is what we need to do for kids, like even another level.
Blues Clues is all about using your imagination. have any of your childhood memories where you used your imagination made it into the show?
Every
all
aspect.
of them, all of
Every
them. And I think that's also one of our favorite parts, because if you really know us, you see it. You can really see it in all the little details.
I think one thing that's interesting is I think we both realized the power of media because we were both so deeply impacted by the shows that we watched as kids and wanting to, you know, put that in our creation, in our show of what we loved.
Yeah. And
So-
every time in press, they would talk about, you know, talking directly to kids, and I would talk about Mr. Rogers, because that was me, right? Could not sit any closer to the TV when Mr. Rogers was on. And, you know, getting to meet him was like, I want you to know the whole reason I went into TV was because of you. And I just hope we can impact one child the way you impacted me. So yeah, when we get these messages from kids or adults today, we're just like, oh my God, I think we did.
Yes, yeah, we did. We had that same impact. But even, you know, from the interaction of the Mr. Rogers aspect to the visuals of loving fruit stripe gum and making the shirts, or Zoom, we love Zoom. So that was our homage to Zoom. And there was, you watched Julia's Playhouse, do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
There was Julia's Playhouse, and she had this black felt board and she would do these felts.
Well, and even in kindergarten,
then,
I remember the felt board being the most, like, the coolest thing, you know?
Yeah,
there's
you know,
many
putting
of
that
those.
felt board in there, and the hide and seek aspect of shows of, you know, Richard Scarry books of finding Goldbug, of putting in snail 3 times.
And playing, I remember making my family laugh as a little kid, playing with like salt and pepper shakers. Like, there's nothing like making people laugh. And I think it's just one of those things that sticks in your head.
Yep, inanimate objects, all of them. I would put googly eyes on all my inanimate objects in my room.
Still
and they
do.
come alive. But yes, so yes.
Yes.
I think you both
yes.
really did make you made him proud.
So we're excited to see all that impact on those kids who have grown up and they're making shows for kids or shows for adults or anything, but to see how, you know, how that's translated and elevated into a different.
And even
way.
the skills we taught, I'm like, yeah. We saw some pictures of kids who were watching the show and now they're in medical school. I'm like, yep, you sure are smart. We knew it.
Thanks to the salt shaker, now you know.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. And congratulations on 25 years. Many more to come. Thank you.
Yes. Woo-hoo. Thanks, Jay.